I never thought I would have to go through all this. Being expelled, finding a new school, quitting sports, missing my friends, being called a criminal. I couldn't believe it. The whole thing was harder than I thought. Just taking a few pills changed my life. I just never thought what could happen to me. It just wasn't worth it. Hello?
Hey, Zach?
Yeah, this is Zach.
I got some pills. You want to do this?
Yeah. When do you wanna do it?
How about I meet you tonight? Okay. See you this school tomorrow then?
Tomorrow? That sounds good. Yeah, I'll bring my money. How much is it?
$2 each. All right, sounds good.
I'll see you tomorrow then, okay? Yeah. All right, bye.
Who is that?
This is nobody. Just don't worry about it.
What do you need money for?
Nothing, Mom. Just lay off, seriously. When I got to school, we just made the handoff. I gave him the cash, and he handed me a bag of pills. It really wasn't a big deal. It never really occurred to me that I was committing an actual crime.
When you talk about prescription drugs, you're not talking about just ibuprofen. You're talking about the narcotic type of stuff. You talk about the Vicodin, you talk about the Xanax, you talk about controlled substances. That's what they're called in law. Or set penalties for that in the law, and they're similar to marijuana and cocaine, because we're starting to see an increase in influx across the country. So we want to stiffen the penalty so that they would, deter somebody from doing that.
I had 8 pills. Told me they were Xanax. Thought they were pain pills, so I figured I would be feeling pretty good soon. I took 3 of them right before first hour, even though I was told that only 2 of them would knock me on my butt. I just took them without really thinking. Later on, I found that Xanax was for anxiety and panic disorders. I had no idea what the pills would do to me. I wasn't thinking. They could have killed me.
This is the biggest Russian roulette type game that's out there. You're spinning that barrel and you have no idea if it's ever loaded and if it's got just a cap in it or if it's got a full load of bullets in it.
Kids think they're indestructible. They think that nothing's going to happen. I'll pop a pill, I'll get high, it'll go away, I'll be fine. And maybe most times it works that way, but you don't know. You don't know what you're popping, and you don't know how it's going to react in your body.
Prescription drugs are that because of the fact that they have a greater degree of possibilities of causing overdose or side effects that are unwanted.
On the way to our next class, I saw Griffin was being escorted to the office by a principal and a police officer. Griffin sold me the pills. I knew something was going down now. At that moment, I got really scared. Dude, they just got Griffin, dude. They just busted him. I just panicked. I had to get rid of those pills. So I just found another friend of mine and just dumped him. I was so nervous after seeing that and so tired. I went to my next class. What happened then was so embarrassing. I was just sitting in class when Mr. Pigger walked in. I knew he was coming for me. He took me out in front of the whole class, trying to get a story straight in my head, but I was so nervous, I didn't know what was going to happen next.
Why don't we talk to my office? Go on.
We got down to his office, and he started asking questions. At first, I tried to play dumb and convince him that I knew nothing about having prescription drugs.
I appreciate you talking to me earlier. I really do. But at this point, I want you to understand now that I've spoken to some other students, And I know that you have not been honest with me. The other students I've talked to have been honest. And at this point, you need to be completely honest with me.
I had to tell the truth though. Everybody was getting busted, and the more I learned, the worse it got.
Giving or selling, it's still distribution, okay? People might put a spin on it and say, well, I'm just giving him this or giving him that. You're still distributing either way it goes, if it's for profit or if it's just to help somebody out. And I think that's the misconception that a lot of people have. You're really distributing, and that prescription was made for you and only you.
The message that we really want to get across is that possessing or distributing prescription drugs is just as serious a crime as possessing or distributing crack cocaine. It can land you an equal amount of time in prison. Don't do it.
I let everyone down. My whole life was changing all because of one stupid decision. Now I have to deal with the police, the courts, the school board, and worst of all, my parents, friends, and coaches.
There's no negotiation. The schools have a zero tolerance policy with regards to drugs and alcohol, and prescription drugs are no different than marijuana, cocaine, or heroin. It's the same thing. We have a zero tolerance policy.
I was kicked out of the school for months doing my work at home, watching everyone else go about their lives. I wasn't even allowed to step on school grounds. I was missing out on everything. I tried to do everything right from that moment on. I tried so hard because I knew I had to face the school board at my expulsion hearing.
Zach admitted to me that he purchased 8 Xanax prescription pills for $16 while on school grounds, and he ingested 3.5 to 4 of these pills that same morning. Further, he had admitted to me that after he realized that one of his friends was being questioned by school administration, he gave the baggie with 4 other pills to another student who in turn gave him $3. The possession, use, and distribution of prescription drugs not prescribed for your personal use is both illegal and a violation of the Student Code of Conduct. It is my recommendation that Zach be expelled from Davison Community Schools.
After a few questions, they came back with a verdict.
I make a motion that the student who came before us tonight be expelled from the Davison Community Schools for violation of the drug policy.
Support. It's been moved and supported that the student brought before us tonight be expelled from Davison Community Schools for violation of the district's drug policy. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
I had to search for a new school. I couldn't believe it. 10 schools had turned me down. They said they didn't want me there because of what I did. Everything was harder. Still waiting for my court date. I had to deal with all these legal issues. Most of all, winning back the trust of my parents. It was only one mistake. One time, that's all. Just a few pills.
You're going to get caught. It may be one pill.
Even good kids can go bad. It's not just the troublemakers or the normal ones you would think, but there are several good students, honorable students that are ended up in this situation.
It could have been so much worse. I could have died. I could have been locked up. I had no idea what I was doing or what those pills could do to me. Drugs are drugs, and it doesn't matter if you get them off the street or from your medicine cabinet. They're controlled for a reason. I've learned so much through all this. Things may never be the same again. Just from one mistake. It just wasn't worth it.